Miami hockey head coach Chris Bergeron as the Miami Redhawks travel to Minnesota this weekend to take out on St. Cloud State. Coach, I'm going to go ahead and start, but obviously you guys had an unplanned weekend off. So what did the team do during that weekend off?
We tried to get healthy, Ali. All of a sudden, midweek last week, we had probably the longest injury report that I've seen in my 18 months or, whatever here. Unfortunately, nobody's sick, just banged up. And it's not necessarily that time of year. We've only played 4 games the second half, but guys banged up. So we did a little tournament, small games tournament in amongst the guys that were healthy. Tried to get healthy with the guys that weren't healthy. At least going into today, we're down to 1 guy on that injury report. We'll see how that goes as we start to prepare for St. Cloud. But first and foremost, we used last week to try to heal up a little bit.
Coach, what in this crazy year, how do you handle something like that, kind of a last-minute cancellation like that? I mean, we were supposed to host a game. Now we'll have to delay it for a few weeks. This is something that nobody's really ever had to deal with before in canceling games and rescheduling.
It just seems to be the way of the world right now, Wad. So it was really simple. And it goes down to full credit to the players. I mean, I'm sure they were disappointed. I think they'd rather play games than practice. I shouldn't say I think, I know. But that's the way it went. I mean, we found out late Monday night that Duluth had a COVID issue and they weren't coming. We made just a couple of calls, Wads, to inquire about some non-conference games, at least close to home. And then by midday Tuesday, we knew that we weren't playing games, or it was very, very small chance that we would play games. So we had some time to wrap our arms around it, and I think our guys did a good job. It's just dealing with the COVID issues, and we've been dealing with it for, it's getting close to 12 months now. So it was no different. The guys handled it fine. For us, we obviously changed the preparation week. We talked to the leadership. We like I said, we all of a sudden were banged up. I don't know how that happened, but we had to deal with that. So we did the best we could. We did a little internal competition thing, and hopefully we can get back to quote unquote preparation here starting today.
That preparation will be for St. Cloud State. Have not seen them this year. Well, you got to watch them while you guys were all in the pod together, but have not played them yet. So tell me a little bit about what you know about St. Cloud and what they will bring to the table.
I think St. Cloud's really good. They seem to be finding ways to win games, not last weekend excluded. They had a pretty good 4-game stretch against Duluth leading into last weekend. I think Western Michigan's really good. So, and I know playing in Kalamazoo is not easy. It's a long trip for St. Cloud. So I'm not really putting a whole lot into that. They've got a really good goalie. Their D are really good. And they've got some forwards that are as skilled as anybody in the league. And that's just reality. I still think they have that winning mojo from the last 3 or 4 years where they've been doing a bunch of winning, whether it be regular season or playoffs. Lots of reasons to get your attention. Seems like another weekend in the NCHC, a really good team. And I don't pay much attention to rankings, but I saw they were ranked 4th in the country going into last weekend. Just a very difficult opponent and a long trip.
And one other challenge that they bring going to play at St. Cloud, they've got the big sheet of ice, the Olympic-sized ice. How many of your guys, of the new guys that are with your team, have played on the big ice, and how will that change preparation?
I'm not totally sure how many of the new guys have played on the big sheet, Wads. I would assume the 2 Swedes have, just because most of the rinks in Europe are the bigger sheets. There's kind of mix and match teams in junior that have the big ice. So I think our guys at some point, at some level, have played on the big ice. It's not going to change our preparation at all. It may, in terms of on-ice preparation, we'll talk about it, how we want to defend it on our forecheck or the idea we want to use on our forecheck, and then on the penalty kill. We cannot skate ourselves outside the dot to nowhere. people get lost out there, because that's really the difference, right? The width piece. In the offensive zone or the defensive zone, there's more room, but it's really in the corners. You still want to get pucks to the net. And we need to find a way to create more opportunities around the other team's net. And then defensively, we just need to stay tight with people and work. And that's all. That's all there is to it. Last year's series at St. Cloud wasn't very good. Friday night was fine. The Saturday night game was not good at all from an effort perspective and just the way we played. So we're going to have to improve on that for sure, knowing that St. Cloud is going to be hungry to play better than at least the results say from this past weekend.